countries across 4 continents and more than 50 million customers of UBA around the world. Please, a round of applause to this great institution, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Bosin Omofaye, and I have the privilege of welcoming everyone to this World Press Conference, which heralds a 1-year-long activities set to mark the 75th anniversary of this global financial institution. Between 1949 to date, UBA has made tremendous progress, and we'll learn about the last 75 years and what the next 75 years and the next 100 and hundreds will mean to this great institution. UBA was listed on the Nigerian Stock Exchange in 1978. I was just about 10 years old then. So I'm going to be introducing a very big institution that's made a tremendous mark, not just here in Nigeria, but across Africa and around the world. We're proud to have an institution that can stand among its peers, not just in Nigeria, but to represent the Federal Republic of Nigeria anywhere on planet Earth. Please put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, to all of you, my colleagues who are here present and those who are joining us. Please, once again, a round of applause. Let me please therefore invite to keep this 1-hour program within schedule by inviting the Group Managing Director, Mr. Oliver Alawuba, to please come to the podium. A round of applause for him, please. The Group Managing Director and CEO will be joined by the Group Deputy Managing Director, Mr. Muyiwa Akiyemi. Please come to the high table as well for this press briefing. I'm also inviting Mr. Ugo Nwagodo, the Executive Director of Finance and Risk for the UBA Group. And also to join this panel of men and women is Mr. Alex Alozie, the Executive Director, Group Chief Operating Officer of UBA Group PLC. And last but not the least, Mr. Lero Ladipo, the Group Head Marketing and Corporate Communications of UBA Group. We'll have the opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, to hear from these men and women the great stride that this bank has made in the annals of Nigeria's banking industry and has spread its tentacles as the go-to bank, the Pan-African bank, the Africa's global bank, not only here but around the world. But please now let's get started. May we all rise, all of us who can, to the anthem of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Please, the national anthem, please. Now, the 75th anniversary of United Bank for Africa, the Africa's Global Bank, is now called to order. I therefore have the privilege and honor to call on the Group Deputy Managing Director, Mr. Muyiwa Akiyemi, to give a brief welcome address at this press conference. A round of applause for him, please.
Distinguished guests, partners, esteemed shareholders, members of the Fourth Realm, colleagues, and our valued customers, I say good afternoon to you all and welcome you to UBA House in Lagos, Nigeria. Today we gather to announce a remarkable milestone in the transformation journey of United Bank for Africa, our 75th anniversary. This anniversary is very dear to us here in UBA, as it not only marks our legacy, but signifies our transformation journey from being British and French bank established in 1949 to becoming the leading financial services institution in Africa, tagged Africa's Global Bank. UBA today operates across 4 continents, with presence in 20 African countries: United States of America, United Kingdom, France, and the United Arab Emirates. And over the past 75 years, we have exemplified stability, reliability, and excellence in banking, achieving numerous milestones, some of which you will listen today, and positively impacting the communities that we serve. Our commitment to exceptional customer experience, as well as our financial strength and resilience over the years, has been key to our success. Our robust performance, especially over the last couple of years, underscores our sound strategies and commitment to operational excellence. I am sure for everyone in this room that you agree that UBA remains an attractive investment as it continues to deliver exceptional value to our shareholders. At UBA, innovation and digital transformation are at the heart of what we do, and our future growth as we remain committed to enhancing the experience of our customers across all touch points, while solidifying our position as Africa's global bank. We are committed to offering value that enhances the experience of our customers at every of our contact points. As a forward-thinking institution, our commitment, intentional commitment to global sustainable practices, corporate social responsibility, has made significant impact across Africa through various initiatives we've had in education, healthcare, and environmental sustainability. As we learn from the interactions of today, we look forward to another 75 years, 100 years of impact to the global space, to our people, businesses, and communities where we serve. Together, we will continue to uphold our core values of excellence, enterprise, and execution, driving sustainable growth and successes. We thank you all for joining us today across the globe as we announce this milestone in our transformation journey and envision a promising future. Once again, I welcome you all to UBA, UBA House, Africa's Global Bank. Thank you.
Thank you very much, the Group Deputy Managing Director, Mr. Muyiwa Akiyemi, for those opening remarks. It is often said that Rome was not built in a day, but the truth was that the Romans were building each and every day. And that made the mighty empire known as the Roman Empire. So the empire we are celebrating today for its 75th anniversary was built through the sweat and hard work of men and women that the group chief CEO will talk about. He will provide the journey over the last 75 years, the achievements and the future aspirations of this financial superhouse. Please put your hands together for the Group Managing Director and CEO, Mr. Oliver Alawuba, to give us UBA at 75.
Good afternoon, dear distinguished guests, gentlemen of the press, key stakeholders around the world, and my esteemed colleagues here present. It is a great pleasure and a very profound sound of pride that we gather here today to commemorate a momentous occasion, the 75th anniversary of United Bank for Africa. As a matter of record, UBA commenced operations in 1949 at Kakawa Street, Lagos Island, which is just few streets from here. And it was then known as British and French Bank. UBA has a long history of men and women, some past, many present, who contributed so much to creating this financial services powerhouse that we have today. So it is right for me, first and foremost, to acknowledge and appreciate all those that worked in UBA in various capacities over the years. I would like to appreciate all former group board chairmen, all former MD CEOs of UBA, all former members of the board, all former members of Executive Management Committee of UBA, all former executive committee members and executives all over various countries in Africa where UBA has present, all those that worked as drivers in UBA, all those that worked as security men in UBA, all those that worked and retired as dispatch riders, tellers, all those that served the customers over the years. I would like to appreciate you and commend you for your contributions in UBA. As we honor the past leaders of UBA, we also commend our present and look forward to future leaders who will continue to raise the bar of banking in Africa and globally. To this end, permit me to also celebrate our current executives and board members that are working tirelessly across 24 countries, pushing the frontiers of UBA in various geographies. I would like to commend the board chairman, Mr. Tony Elumelu, CFR, the MD CEOs of various subsidiary banks of UBA, the board members of UBA, the members of the Executive Management Committee at the subsidiary level and also at the group level, all staff of UBA in all subsidiaries around the world. Without your sacrifices, contributions, support, and guidance over the years, we will not be where we are today. We appreciate and honor you because you built and nurtured this platform on which we stand today. Our group chairman, Mr. Tony Elumelu, CFR, truly deserves special recognition and mention. Without his visionary push in 2005 and the tutelage over the years, I doubt whether we'll be where we are today. For these and more, we say a big and resounding thank you to him. I would like to also take this opportunity to thank all customers of UBA around the globe. Your consistent support and patronage over the years have been amazing. You meet several people all the time, and they will tell you that they are the third and fourth generation of UBA customers in their families, that their grandparents and parents were customers of UBA, and their children currently carry ATM cards, enrolled in our mobile banking platform, and Leo chatbot banking. This is the strength of UBA. This milestone is not just a celebration of longevity, but a testament to resilience, innovation, and unwavering commitment to excellence that defined UBA's journeys over the decades. As we reflect on the significance of this epoch-making event, it is important to acknowledge that UBA means different things to different people. To some, UBA is a trusted financial partner. For others, UBA is a beacon of stability and reliability, a developmental partner in various local communities across Africa, as well as a catalyst for African development. Since the inception in 1949, UBA has evolved from a modest beginning in Lagos to a global financial institution with presence in 20 African countries and in 4 global financial nerve centers of the world, in New York, in London, in Paris, and in Dubai. Today, we have over 25,000 staff, over 35 million customers, served through multiple channels, over 250,000 POS terminals, over 2,000 ATM cards, 1,000 business offices, and close to 20 million card customers. The past 75 years have been marked by stability and excellence, pillars upon which UBA's legacy stands tall. We take the pride in mentioning few of them. UBA is the first bank in Nigeria to offer initial public offering in 1970. UBA is the first bank in the banking system in Nigeria to be listed on the Nigerian Stock Exchange then. UBA is the only bank in sub-Saharan Africa that has a deposit-taking license in the United States of America. UBA is the first bank in Nigeria to install an ATM. UBA mobile banking was first introduced in Nigeria. Mobile banking was first introduced in Nigeria by UBA. And recently, we launched the first multilingual chatbot banking in Nigeria, Leo. There are many of these firsts of the UBA group that time indeed will not permit me to list. Amidst economic challenges and market dynamics, UBA has demonstrated remarkable financial strength and resilience. Our splendid performance, especially within the last 1 year, is a testament to our robust fundamentals and strategic decisions that we have taken. As we navigate through the ever-changing landscape, we remain committed to creating a value for our shareholders and capitalizing on emerging opportunities in the markets. Innovation and digital transformation are the key hearts of UBA's strategy for future growth and competitiveness. We will continue to invest in innovative products, services, and digital platforms that enhance customer experience and drive operational efficiency. Our commitment to corporate social responsibility is strong, with initiatives focused on education, healthcare, entrepreneurship, and environmental sustainability, thus making a concrete impact on communities across Africa. Looking ahead, our vision is clear: to be the role model for African businesses. UBA is one bank uniting Africa and connecting Africans to the world and the world to Africa. Our primary focus is to be the payment bank for capital flows, trade, and investment between Africa and the rest of the world. We are committed to expanding our presence, seizing opportunities, and delivering value to all stakeholders. Collaborations and partnerships are exemplified by the recently signed agreement that we had with African Continental Free Trade Area Secretariat, where UBA is putting forward $6 billion for SME funding for Africans. We are dedicated to deepening relationships with customers, employees, regulators, and other stakeholders for mutual benefit and long-term success. As I round off, I would like to reiterate UBA's commitment to customer-first philosophy, which is our primary business strategy. The customer is our employer and the sole reason why we come to work. Our key pillars of service, people, technology, and process, are all geared towards the delivery of excellent customer experience, which is our promise. As we embark on the next phase of our journey, I urge all stakeholders to continue their support and collaboration with UBA. Together, we will write the next chapter of success for United Bank for Africa PLC. In conclusion, I would like to leave you with the words of the Danish theologian, philosopher, poet, social critic, and religious author, Søren Kierkegaard. Quote, honor the past, celebrate the present, embrace the future. Life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forward, unquote. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for your time. And congratulations to everyone. God bless you.
Thank you very much. The Group Managing Director and CEO of United Bank for Africa PLC, Mr. Oliver Lawuba, for that UBA at 75, raising the curtain for this World Press Conference. As we move on now to the question and answer session for hundreds of my colleagues who are here and those who are online, please let me kindly invite the Group Head Media and External Relations of UBA, Mr. Ramon Nasiru Olariwaju, to please handle this part of the program. Nasiru, please.
Thank you to good friend Bosin Omofai. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, especially to my constituency, the media. This is your time to ask questions, and I promise you answers will be given. But we have a bit of guideline. 3 questions will be asked at a time and on a go. And answers will be given to those questions. Afterwards, we'll move to another 3, another 3, another 3 until we get to maybe another 30 minutes. If you need to ask a question, kindly tell us your name, the organization you work for, and the country in which you come from. Because over 75 journalists are here this afternoon from various parts of the continent. I want to appreciate you all. So if you need to ask a question, kindly raise up your hand. I will give you numbers, then we'll go. 1, no, let's start from here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's go. Group Chairman, Group GMD, please. The questions will be ready.
Thank you so much, Ramon. We'll start with the question and answers. But as you may know, UBA is a gender-sensitive and gender-friendly organization. Alero, am I correct? Please testify. Very, yes. So please, let's put our hands together for these bands, because the UBA has 2 female executive directors who are busy at the moment conquering the world, whereas why they are not here. You know, the men are here to tell the story. The women are out there to bring in the money for the next 75. Please give them a round of applause. Please, Shola is in New York as we speak right now, at the international office in the US, while Abiola is touring Africa. You know, after Afrexim Bank, this is the bank for trade in Nigeria and in Africa. Now let's keep the questions coming. Thank you so much, Abiola and Shola. I'm sure they're watching this online. Thank you very much. Ramon, please.
Let's have the first one. Please.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Alexander Onukwe. I am representing Semaphore Africa. I am a Nigerian based in Lagos. My question is with regards to how the monetary policy environment of the last 5 years has affected UBA as a business, and comparing it to, if you can, compare it to other periods in the country's history. How does this period of monetary policy compared to other periods, and how has that affected UBA in terms of service delivery, but also achieving your business goals? Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Oluwaseyi Lawal for Marketing Edge here in Nigeria, Lagos. My question is, we all know that UBA customers first, and they have a commitment towards the customers. So my question is this: how does UBA plan to celebrate this 75th year anniversary with its customers, and also to engage the communities that these customers come from?
Okay, thank you. The third person?
Yeah, good afternoon. My name is David Taylor. I work with American News. Okay, so my question, I will take it to financial literacy level. We look at now, presently, let me say, we're kind of going through an economic downturn in Nigeria. And what's the place of the bank, and what is the place of the bank? I mean banks, and what is UBA doing to help drive this? That's one. Then two, how will you rate the situation in Nigeria, the financial and economic situation, as Naira is currently recording losses against the dollar, though it's has kind of picked up? So how would you rate that, the economic and financial situation vis-a-vis the exchange rate?
Okay.
Thank you.
GMT, please, go ahead, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Alexander, for that question on the monetary policy frameworks we have. I think you are referring a lot more to Nigeria. But I can tell you that the financial situation is not just a Nigerian issue. The whole world, of course, you know the history, going from the COVID situation and the several geopolitical tensions around the world has affected the world economy. And Nigeria and the African countries where we play are not exception. But what I can tell you that within the monetary policy frameworks that we have in various countries, what UBA tries to do is, first of all, compliance. We run a highly regulated business, so we comply 100% to all the policies and frameworks that the central banks come in various countries where we are present. So we run that. So that is important. However, we also work with the central banks in various countries where we are present to come up with ideas that can help improve the financial performance of those economies. I can tell you, for example, that we work with some countries in Africa to improve digital banking play in their countries. I mentioned to you that UBA is the first bank in Nigeria to introduce an ATM. You will not do that without support of the central bank. In some countries, we are the first to introduce digital platforms, ATMs, POS in those countries. And it's a lot of work and collaboration with the central banks. So actually to this is that of collaboration. When you collaborate with the monetary policy authorities, you'll be able to continue to improve the landscape, the economic landscape where we play. The question on the financial situation in Nigeria, I think David asked that question. I would like to tell you that so far the government of Nigeria has taken very positive decisions. Decision about subsidy removal, decision about harmonization, free of rates. These decisions are very positive to the economy. Now, of course, there are short-term hiccups. But I can tell you, over time, this will go away and the economy will do better. But if those decisions are not taken, it will even lead to more serious implications for the country. Now, we will continue to celebrate with our customers. The customers are the basis why we come to work. The essence of UBA is the customer. for this 75 years anniversary, we will continue to celebrate with the customers. And I think, and I will continue to ensure to come up with several policies, several products. You're going to see a lot coming through after this press conference on how the customers can continue to benefit from UBA. In UBA, financial inclusivity is very important. And we'll continue to come up with how we can make sure we increase the number of Africans that have banking relationship. When we landed in Ghana in 2005, that was one of the first things UBA did. We removed initial deposit that's required for banks so that we can drive financial inclusivity. Today, too, we are using digital means to ensure that we get to everyone in Africa. It is important that everyone in Africa has a banking account, and that would support management of the economy in a better way. So UBA is the forefront of driving financial inclusivity in Africa and all the countries where we play. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And no, before we'll go to this, I think I still have one or two hands here. Don't worry, we have some time.
For the group, specifically, I would like to know the long-term vision for the group over the next 25 years and its plans to adapt to a rapidly changing global landscape. So the second one will be under the technological advancement, global technological advancement, and that will be, I would love to know what the group, how the group is leveraging new technologies such as AI and blockchain to enhance its operation and services. Thank you.
Thank you, Motolani. Eromosele.
MD, I would like to join others to congratulate you on anniversary. So while we celebrate the past, we would also like to know about your immediate past and your present. So my question is on your 2023 performance and your Q1 2024. So in your FYA 2023, your NPS was above the CBN threshold of 5.8% as against 2.9 in 2022. Then in Q1 2024, you have probably the highest OPEX in the industry of 210 billion as against 107 or so in 2023 Q1. So I want to know why this and what you are doing to. Then my last question will be on the $6 billion you said you pledged for IFTA for SME funding. At the time when you are asked to raise 500 billion by the CBN, where's the funding coming from for the $6 billion and when you're trying to raise funds? Thank you.
Thank you, Aaron Mosele. Okay. Komalafe. So let's go. Okay. Hold on, please. Let's GMD answer those questions.
Okay, thanks, Austin. Their question, which is a very great question, by the way, is on the contributions of the countries in Africa, subsidiaries in Africa, to UBA bottom line. And I would like to give you a positive news that all the subsidiaries in Africa are profit making, and all of them are contributing more than 50% of the gross income of UBA, and this trend will continue. So the vision of going into these countries is paying off, and will continue to invest in Africa. Indeed, it's United Bank for Africa, and we will continue to invest in Africa. We will continue to deepen our market. Our market share in those countries are improving. In fact, if you go to some of the countries, UBA is number 1, number 2, number 3 bank in those countries. And some of them are appreciating the contributions of UBA to the economy, which have been very impactful. Now, the question from Motolani was on our vision. Again, our vision is quite clear. I mentioned that in my speech, to be a role model for African businesses. Africa is our home. Africa is the center of our businesses. Our primary focus is to be that bank that unites Africa, That bank that's moving businesses between Africa and the rest of the world, and the rest of the world and Africa, in terms of capital flows, in terms of trade, in terms of settlement. We need a bank that will support intra-Africa trade, and that bank is UBA. And that is clearly our vision in the next 25 years. Africans are doing less with each other and more with others. And you need a bank that will continue to encourage intra-Africa trade. So it will be easier for you, a manufacturer in Nigeria, to find market in Ghana, or a Ghana manufacturer find market in Senegal. And you need a bank that will put all this together. And that's what UBA is doing, and working with various partners to ensure intra-Africa trade is given a boost in the next few years to come. Ugo will take the question Eremosala asked on the financials. Amoiwa will handle the question on the $6 billion commitment on SME funding in Africa.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, thank you very much, Eremosala. I think there was that question on NPL. Yes, the NPL ratio rose to 5.8% in 2023, but that was largely as a result of the fact that we saw some weaknesses in some of the credits in the portfolio, and we had to do the responsible thing of actually classifying them as such. The good news is that the collateral level for those loans is quite high, and we are currently in the process of realizing them, and that we should see the NPL ratio coming well below the 5% threshold. But 5.8% relative to a number of peers still remains one of the lowest around the industry. In Q1, OPEX was said to be one of the highest in the industry, and I think that is largely related to the inflation rates we've seen across jurisdictions, and there is a relativity when you look at operating expenses. It has to be related to the scale of the business. You cannot, for instance, compare the size, absolute size of operating expenses of UBA to the absolute size of operating expenses of another operation that's probably about half in terms of scale and size. But what is important is that you compare the revenues as well, and the net returns from all of those. And I think on that point, UBA is very reasonably comparable to relevant peers. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Solani. So first of all, let me try to give some context around your question and why we did that support. We went into conversations with AFCFTA. I'm sure you know what AFTA is, which is to unite the entire Africa to grow and develop it. And we looked at a few things that we could do to support intra-African trade and businesses across Africa. I'm sure you agree with me, SMEs represent the engine for development and growth in Africa. Now, we identified 4 sectors that are largely import dependent. 1, automotive industry, pharmaceutical, logistics, as well as transport businesses. They rely a lot more on imports. And we worked with AFCFTA after a thorough research to say, how do we substitute the imports, right? For Africans to be able to develop, produce and manufacture those items locally, and also trading between itself. Like my GMD mentioned, intra-African trade today is less than 15%. In Europe is 60%. In America is over 75%. And we stepped out to give a commitment of $6 billion to be disbursed to SMEs to improve their capacity to substitute the importation of these items in these 4 sectors. Now you ask, where is the deposit coming from? Now, this UBA today has more than enough deposit to fund this, right? As part of our SME business strategy. And this is not just only to Nigeria, it's across the 20 countries where we operate in the first phase, and then moving to non-present countries in the second phase. So we're going to fund it largely from our deposits. That's on the one side. It has nothing to do with recapitalization. It's about the business that we do. And SME being an important area of our business is a key focus for us to grow and impact lives and businesses in Africa, right? Now, aside from this, we've also gone into partnership with various DFIs, Afrexim being one of them, African Growth Fund. So a number of DFIs are also coming by way of financing some of those schemes, as well as providing mitigants to the risks that may be in those areas. So largely, the funding is not a major issue and has no relationship to our capitalization program in Nigeria. Mind you, it's not only for Nigeria, it's for across Africa. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. And let's go to the next. Bossing had been begging me, I don't know, this MC has been begging me that he wants to ask a question. Pleading, okay. Okay, please, kindly come forward and ask your question before we go to.
Thank you very much if I have just this opportunity, because when you moderate, you expect it to be, well, I'm a journalist, so I work for Arise News. My key question is, yes, on infrastructure and global trade, but I'm trying to find out how a lot more can be done. When you look at the financing gap for the key sectors, energy, very important, power sector, and I'm sure within the wider UBA family, as it were, you've got a few fingers in this very key, agriculture, which is very critical. And for countries that are going through climate change impact, as we speak, in Southern Africa, for example, I know UBA is in Zambia, in Lusaka, I've seen some.
Komolafe? No, Collins, then Komolafe. Okay, please, quickly. We can only entertain one question because we need to go round and the time is fast spent. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, and congratulations once more on your 75th anniversary. My name is Collins Mweze. I write for The Nation. In the course of your speech, you talked about investment in technology and digital banking. So my question is, with that level of investment, especially across your markets, how are you handling the risk that come with more of your customers going digital? And also, how are you trying to adapt that technology to over 20 countries in Africa and outside where you have your operations? And then do you have something that looks like connectivity across all those units and within your bank? Thank you.
Thank you, Collins. Please, Komolafe, one question.
Okay, Babajide Komolafe is my name, write for Vanguard newspaper. Mr. GMD, while you were mentioning, obviously around the time when that advert was released, few people could imagine this era we're enjoying now, where from your bedroom, you can, with a few click of hands, send money across. So looking forward to the next probably 75 years, where do you see innovation taking banking and UBA in terms of innovation? What are the areas you are envisaging to take your customers to? Thank you.
Thank you, Komolafe. Thank you. JMD will answer those questions, then we'll move from.
Let's try to. Okay, Bosun, thanks for that question. That question was about, which is fantastic, about infrastructure gap, funding gap in Africa. And I can tell you it's a lot. From agriculture to roads to ports to telecoms, power is a lot. The infrastructure gap in Africa is a lot. But that lies the opportunity that we have in Africa. So UBA strategy has been in countries where we are present. We support the key sectors that are driving the economy of those countries. Yes, in some of the countries, we have done a lot in terms of road infrastructure support, ports, building of ports, and improving the capacity of ports to take in goods. In some of the countries, we have even done as much as dealing with stadia. In some of the countries, yes, some of the stadia where the matches of AFCON was played, we actually supported by UBA. In some, we have built their capacity for revenue generation in terms of technology to ensure that the governments have enough funding to support the business of the day. So our support to African economies is across sectors. depending on what is the critical sector that's driving those economies. Today, we are supporting mining in several countries in Africa. We are supporting cotton. We are supporting cocoa. We are supporting cashew in several countries, depending on what the country is built on. So we are committed to developing Africa. We are committed to supporting the key sectors that are pushing African economies wide. And it's showing even in our performances, even in our businesses. If you look at our accounts, when Tolani mentioned about our performance, you will see that our performance has continued to improve, reflecting clearly the work we are doing. Today, the deposit position of UBA is about 18 trillion. Today, our shareholders' funding is 2 trillion. Today, you will see that our customer base is moving up to 45 million customers across Africa. And these are growing on a daily basis, based on the businesses. And we don't just support these businesses, we support all the value chain that are tied to these businesses, so that the SME business will continue to thrive. Because we recognize, like my colleague said earlier, SME is the future of Africa, and we'll continue to provide support for SME business in Africa. The question on technology, I think my colleague Alex, who's in charge of operation on technology, will handle that.
Okay, Batune, thank you for your question on technology. You totally agree with me that serving 45 million customers needs that you have an enhanced technology, and at the same time have the technology that can also prevent fraud. Today, what UBA has done in terms of technology is to empower customers on self-service. We have over 20 of our services on self-service, and on terms of our technology too, you agree with me that UBA stability and stability and also customers knowing what to use at the right time is one of our core deliverables in UBA. So what we have done across Africa is to ensure that we have that technology that connects one country to another. You can, with UBA technology, you can transfer money from Togo to Ghana, from Ghana to Kenya, without not coming into the banking hall. So we have done that with technology. And in terms of fraud, too, one of the things we have also done is that as we empower customers, we also show that we have that underlying technology that will prevent customers from losing funds. Today, UBA is a safe haven for customers' funds. Thank you very much.
Okay, we have 7 more minutes to go. So I want to be a bit Tolu, Kade, Pat, please quickly ask one question each. Just one question.
Just a reaction. My name is Dr. Ogunjobi. I'm the business editor with TVC, and GMD CEO, I'd just like you to react to the recapitalization of banks, which is expected to, it's been instituted by the CBN. What do you think this means for the banking institution, the banking industry entirely moving forward? And what are your plans to make sure that the outer economy, that's other issues around the economy won't affect this? $1 trillion economy is what the CBN governor says we want to achieve. How feasible is this? Thank you.
Let's my colleague take that question on the capitalization. I can add to it, really.
Okay. So yes, the central bank has set that every bank must have 500 billion naira in capital, pure share capital, and that was not necessarily related to the existing shareholders' funds of the banks. Okay, and the whole objective, according to the central bank, was that we wanted to support a $1 trillion economy at a certain time. So we have looked at that. It's obviously going to strengthen the banking system, as expected. It will strengthen the banking system, and the banks in Nigeria will be able to do a lot more in terms of growing the economy in Nigeria. The central bank gave a couple of options. You could achieve this by raising additional funds. You could achieve this by mergers and acquisitions, and you can choose not to raise more funds and step down your license to a level where your current capital can support. Okay, so for UBA, we operate with the highest license around available, which is an international license. We have operations, very strong, vibrant operations across Africa and indeed in several centers in the world. So we've chosen to go by this route. We are looking at options. We're engaging financial advisors, and we indeed have set in motion the requisite approvals from the shareholders. So on Friday, hopefully, we will be receiving the approval of shareholders on certain resolutions that will enable us to execute the required capital raise. With notes, however, that we are committed to achieving this well ahead of the set deadline.
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
Okay. My name is Kaide Akintemi, Managing Director of News Central Television. I congratulate UBA. 75 years is no small feat, and I can proudly say that I opened my very first bank account 33 years ago with UBA, the very first one. As a journalist, I travel around Africa and around the world, and I send my reporters around the continent quite a bit. My question will be, it's often very difficult having transaction with any bank in Nigeria when you go outside the country. What are you going to do to make it a seamless operation where I go to Ghana and I can use my bank card there without any problem? The second question, quick one. Banks in Nigeria are doing superbly well in an economy that there is a lot of trouble. Please share the secret with the rest of the different sectors. What is it that you're doing? What's the trick that makes it such that profits are being shared, are being declared by banks, but other sectors are really struggling? Please share the secret with us. Thank you.
You pay for that service. Pat Atunya, please, quickly. Sir, let's part, after parts then. 1 minute.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Patrick Atwanya, publisher of Money Central Media. I want to congratulate UBA for, exceptional growth over the years. So my question to the GMD is the valuation of UBA, right, on the stock market. It's about 0.28 book value. So despite the large growth you've seen over time, investors are still pricing your shares much lower than book value. So the question really is it bank specific, right? Is it that they don't trust what's on the books? Is it sector specific? Is it they don't trust Nigerian financials? Or is it a sovereign specific, right? Is it that the whole macroeconomic situation in the country does not give investors confidence to raise those valuations to maybe South African peers? Thank you.
Okay, I think that we have a lot of questions that are very, very, very important questions to answer. Okay, so Kaide, first of all, UBA has products that you can use anywhere you are around the world, over 122 countries around the world. We have a UBA bank card, which you can use anywhere you travel to, any currency. Immediately you get service. That is available, and I think we can also ensure that you have it even before you leave today. So that's important. Second point is, what is the secret? The secret is the customer. Focus on the customer. What does the customer want? Our primary focus is the customer and adaptability to the convenience and expectations of the customer. Once your customer focused, you'll be able to weather the storm. You'll be able to weather the storm and contribute to your bottom line. Solve a problem. Solving the customer's problem is the key focus of UBA. And that's what we do all the time. Now, the issue of capitalization, I want to really answer it a bit, and then which came up earlier. UBA is that bank that investors are looking for. In 2023, just last year, our capital appreciation, price appreciation, was one of the highest on this exchange. For the past 2 years, our dividend yield
has been above 12%. And when you look at the bank present in 24 countries, that shows a strong diversification of income streams that will continue to come into UBA. So as you are buying into UBA shares, you're actually buying 24 countries and beyond. And what that does is that also makes sure it cushions you from any risk in any country risk in these countries we are present. So UBA is, you buy one, you get actually 24 countries in it. And that is really what it is. So we have to do more to let Nigerians know that UBA price today, like you said, is undervalued, that UBA is really so much opportunities, treasure in buying into UBA. And that is the message of today. And I believe that by the time people get to know, because at times people have seen UBA, but they don't know because that UBA is also present in other countries. This is a bank, the only bank in Africa that has presence in America. This is the only bank that today has a banking license out of Nigeria, out of Africa, in Dubai. We are the only bank authorized by the authorities in Dubai to have a banking license out of Africa. So this is a bank that's connecting Africa to the world. And we are very serious-minded about it. And we believe that all of us will continue to push the narrative that indeed there are opportunities in Africa. And indeed, you need a financial institution that will stand there to connect Africa to the world. And that is UBA.
The group managing director, yes, this will continue for another 30 minutes, I've been told. So we'll go for more questions. We'll go for more questions. I think we are settled there. No. Obinashima, Ugodre, I can see Emeka Aneto, that will be 3. Then the man from, okay, yes, okay, 4. After that, I think let me take one more. 4 is fine. Okay, let's do that. Okay, the lady, the lady will be 5, then we'll cut it off. Okay, thank you. The first person, Obina.
Good afternoon. MD, before I ask my question, Babajide is protesting. He said you've not answered this question. So I would like to speak to the challenges that come with cross-border expansion. In the past 75 years, you expanded across Africa. What are some of these challenges you faced in those 75 years? Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. My name is Perpetua Fasami Peter from New Central Television. I reckon that a lot of the questions I have on my mind have already been answered, but I'll ask this particular one. Do you think Nigeria has the headroom for more rate cuts? And then how much more can it take? And how does this affect the financial intermediation role of Nigerian banks at this point in time? Thank you.
Okay, the third person. I think it's there. Ugodre.
Welcome back from the live telecast. We'll now continue with our regular programs. Stay tuned.